Hey guys, John Rivera from the Solid State Gamer here. It's weekly mailbag time again. It's the 20th of... That was weird. It's the 20th of December, Saturday, 2014. Welcome back. I've got a few things I want to share with you guys for coverage on the website. And just to kind of preface that, we do have the Solid State ROMcast from the 18th up on the site now, so you guys can check that out. See what we think about the shortage of Wii U GameCube controller adapters, as well as what we think about World of Tanks. And lastly, we covered on a roundtable, we're kind of just wrapping up this generation thus far. You know, how the company's been doing, how they've been screwing up, how they can do better. And we kind of just break all that stuff down. We using the third quarterly reports from NPD, you know, in terms of sales figures and stuff. So you guys can just see, you guys can listen to that, you know, whenever. So there's that. But I also picked up some stuff lately, and some of the stuff I didn't want to have to pick up, but it was necessary. So let's just start with this. This is actually, let's see, let's unwrap this. This is actually for my Wii U system. Actually, all of this stuff is for my Wii U. These are little clips to vertically orient my Wii U game console. And like I said, didn't want to buy these. They were supposed to come with my 32 gig deluxe model, but they never did. So let's move this Jiffy envelope to the side. Another thing that was supposed to come in with my compact in with my 32 gig model was the charging dock and the controller cradle. So let's get a good look at the box right there. And you have the nice little Wii U symbol right there. So let's just bust this open. Oh, I just dropped some documentation. This box is pretty beat up, but this was originally supposed to be a shelf copy of these accessories. It got beat up, and because of that, the savings got passed on to me, so that's great. That's aces all around. That's really how you find all the deals online. So this is the charging, or this is the controller cradle. This is where you just set your controller when you're not using it. So there's that. This, however, is more important for convenience sake. This is actually the controller, this is the tablet controller charging dock. And like I said, with the 32 gig model, it's supposed to come packed in, but with mine, they had forgot to throw those articles in there. I've since contacted them about, hey, why isn't this stuff in there? And they got back to me. They wanted me to send back the system after 6.5 hours of updates. You have to understand, this was a display model. It was never used for games or multimedia or anything like that, so it was lacking that essential firmware update. I updated the system and it took me roughly 6 hours. That was crazy. And after all that, I didn't have this stuff in it, and they wanted me to send back the system to get a brand new one, where I'd have to spend a quarter of a day updating. I mean, that's madness. I would never, I mean, why would I do that? So I emailed them back saying, that's crazy. Why would I do that? Also, I need this controller for my website, the Solid State Gamer. You know, this, we're not playing games here, no pun intended. But anyway, they're trying to fix that situation. They just need to send that crap over to me. So maybe I'll have doubles of that stuff, who cares, whatever. But I've already rectified the situation. Not happy about how that went down, and not happy about how this went down right here. Remember when last time on the weekly mailbag, I talked about getting this copy of Pikmin 3? Good condition of a disc, but it was only a disc when they had advertised that it was like new. So I've been kind of getting duped on these online deals lately, which is kind of a bummer because you're not supposed to falsely advertise what a product is on these online profiles or these item profiles. So there we go. I spent like $5 on this free shipping and handling. So now I've got Pikmin 3 complete for the Wii U, so that's good. And also it's got the manual, thank goodness. I mean, I can't stress enough how important it is that you get manual documentation with a game. So there's that. Let's move this styrofoam out of the way, or this little bag. Here we have Mass Effect 3 Special Edition. Now this I got factory sealed. I've since unwrapped it, of course. And this is a very interesting game for 2 reasons. A, it's Mass Effect 3, and B, there's no such thing as Mass Effect 1 or 2 for the Wii U. So this game is kind of an anomaly in itself. It's kind of weird. Why would, out of all games to start off with on a system, why would you start with the last? Doesn't make much sense to me. But since I've already played the first 2 on the 360, I guess it would be okay for me to own the 3rd game. But for someone who's never played the first 2, there's no reason for you to really... Well, I guess I shouldn't say anything until I review the game and get my 2 cents on it. But this is my least favorite out of the bunch, personally. Obviously, I can't vouch for this Wii U version because I've yet to play it. But it talks about doing some interesting things with the Wii U tablet controller. So here's to hoping, fingers crossed, that that game is pretty awesome. Here we have Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut for the Wii U. Another game that I own on the 360 and I've since played. I really want to see how the Wii U version stacks up. You know, we talked about in the ROMcast how the Wii U and Nintendo, they're slowly running out of that time window in which they can release Xbox 360 ports to kind of beef up their library. Sooner or later, it's going to get to the point where that won't be an option for them. So hopefully they seize the opportunity within the next few months and make that happen. And last but not least, we've got Assassin's Creed 3. So I've since played this game, and not this version, but obviously on a different system. I've since played this version, and it's pretty entertaining. You know, killing redcoats, you know, American Revolution and stuff like that. Much to the chagrin of the British. We do apologize, but obviously you can't. I mean, that's history, right? So there's that. And this game actually does not have real documentation. The manual's pretty much, it has limited documentation. It's pretty pathetic. I mean, it literally is like a few pages of documentation on how to play the game. But that's where we're getting at in terms of, digital manuals online, not a lot of documentation, self-explanatory gameplay, which is great. But I don't like reading manuals on a screen. It's kind of straining on the eyes. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. That concludes the weekly mailbag for this edition. So aces all around. Got a complete copy of Pikmin 3 so far. That's nice. For whatever it's worth, I've got Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U. Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, so maybe there'll be some Ridley Scott elements in there, I'm not sure, for the Wii U. And last but not least, Assassin's Creed 3. On top of the charging dock, controller cradle, and the little clips for the vertical stand for the Wii U 32 gigabyte deluxe model. So anyway, that'll pretty much do it for this mailbag. Be sure to check out the site. We've got a lot of interesting content on there so far. We got this nice little rumor mill thing talking about how Jonathan Blow is actually Pitbull moonlighting as an indie game developer. Obviously, we know it's bunk, but we thought it was hilarious because of the fact that they look so much alike. There's an uncanny resemblance between the two. Also, we've got a preview. We've also got an article about Puerto Rican game dev studio that might be interesting to you guys. But anyway, that pretty much covers it. So for this weekly mailbag, as always, I'm your host, John Rivera, and always stay tuned for the latest ROMcast. It happens weekly. A little inconsistent right now as to when it does happen, just because our schedules are kind of crazy. Hopefully that'll change in the near future. We keeping our fingers crossed, and we're also keeping our fingers crossed for bringing you guys new content that you guys are going to find entertaining. I'm going to be doing more quick looks as well as more proto watch videos. I've got a few ideas in the works for features for canceled games that never got a proper release at all. Maybe one step away from hitting commercial release. So a lot of interesting stuff headed your way on the Solid State Gamer. So stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.